So here we are at the finish line. We have our completed rendering, and I think the results really speak for themselves. I think we've really ended up with a fantastic looking image that the client would be pleased to be able to use for their product pitch. So it took about 13 hours for this render to work on my 6-core machine. So that just rendered overnight. And I can show you the settings that I used. I personally don't fiddle around with lots of individual settings. What I do is I just go into the shader, and in order to get that nice smooth depth of field, I increase the anti-aliasing to the maximum 1024 samples, and then I also reduce the refinement shading rate to zero point 0.1 pixels and the refinement threshold. What that basically means is it almost maximizes just the number of neighboring samples to reduce any sort of noise or eliminate any sort of shading abnormalities that you might come across. So I'll admit it's kind of the lazy man's approach to just sort of increase the settings, and it'll take a little bit longer to render, but then I don't need to go through and do test renders and figure out all the individual sample settings. So I'm really pleased with the final result. So I also took that and I jumped into Photoshop and I added in some text on top of here. So I'll include this as a transparent texture so that you can throw this on top of your render if you've done the same thing if you prefer, or you could put your own spin on it. And this is the logo that was supplied to us by the agency. So I've put that on there just to create a really, what I feel is a stunning final image. So in closing, I just want to say thank you for your support in buying this tutorial. I really appreciate it. And I also want to say if you're a new user, I hope I've educated and inspired you to keep using Modo. For longtime users, I hope I've shown you a few tricks you can use to extend your own Modo knowledge. I personally find it's always interesting to see how other people work through projects because it's really no one right way to do something. Everyone's going to have their different approach. So thanks again for viewing, and I'll see you next time.